It's getting damn expensive to make videos for ET these days. Gotta get a little go-go juice. No go-go? No juice, no go-go. Anyway, you know what? Stand by because we're gonna tell you, or I'm gonna tell you, why I bought a Freightliner instead of a Volvo. I'm toasty, and you are cold. So most of you know already, I bought the Freightliner. I bought a truck. This is not new news, believe it or not, was for a Freightliner. I got a bunch of questions. A lot of you guys asked in, like, why did I buy the Freightliner? And I'm gonna tell you honestly, it wasn't a hard decision. I originally was not gonna buy a Freightliner. A couple of factors swayed me this way, but we'll discuss those. As you know, I was in a Volvo before. I had a 2014 Volvo VNL. Beautiful truck. I bought it new, or it was almost new. I enjoyed the truck, but after a few years, it started developing problems. And a lot of the issues I had with Volvo and their electronics, their EGRs, their DPF systems didn't work worth a crap. Their electronic problems were absolutely horrible. And these are just problems I had with my truck. I'm not saying every Volvo has these issues, but I was having a lot of these problems. Another big problem I was having was getting work done on the truck when it was busted. The downtimes were starting to get ridiculous. And the cost to fix a damn Volvo is a joke these days. The rates are ridiculous. So that was that's the reasoning. Like that's sort of like I had a Volvo, and that's what put the bad taste in my mouth. You know what? It's one of these things, and I can't say about Kenworth, but I can say about Freightliner, and I can say about Volvo. If my truck breaks down, if this Freightliner breaks down anywhere in North America, Canada, US, generally I can get this thing fixed. I mean, diagnosed and fixed within 24 to 36 hours, in and out, most of the time. With Volvo, in my experience, dude, you could be upwards of a week. We also did the research, and some of it we did while shooting videos or because of the 90-day challenge, but my wife and I did an extensive search on the wait times for parts. It seems that Detroit and Freightliner, and I don't know how this works because most of these parts, whether they're Volvo, Packard, they're all made in China anyway. Like I've said before, you know, the parts for Freightliners are coming out one end of the factory and the parts for Volvos are coming out the other, but Freightliner and Detroit don't seem to be suffering. There is a part shortage, but they don't seem to be suffering as bad as, say, Volvo, Kenworth, Peterbilt, International. So yeah, we've got those. That was a biggie for me as well. Look at this, we're swinging in here with another ET. Where are we going, bro? Anyway, it's always good to see a friendly face. So there you go. That was probably that was the last thing that kind of swayed me. The price of parts is generally cheaper with Freightliners and Detroits, and they're more readily available. And that was probably the last thing that sort of kicked me over and said, okay, yeah, we're gonna go with the Freightliner. Anyway, back to the highway. Now, I wasn't gonna buy a Freightliner. I'll be honest with you, I was looking at the next gen. I was gonna buy the 680, the Kenworth. I was gonna buy the 2021 with the next gen motor in it. I think I want me one of these. That's the direction I was going. I sold the Kenworth, I sold the Volvo, I bought that Kenworth, that beautiful W9. Things didn't work out for me like I'd hoped with that, and that was a quick sale, quick flip, turned it, made a profit. But then I had to make a decision, and then Ronan presented me, as you guys all know, he presented me with the option, well, while you're in between trucks, you've sold the Kenworth, you don't have a new truck, why don't we do this 90-day challenge? I'll give you the Freightliner, here's a 2020 Freightliner, run it. So I did.
So in my videos, I talk a lot about financing and interest rates because 90% of the time when I look at lease agreements, our hardworking truck drivers are getting taken advantage of. My heart drops when I see finance agreements and drivers being charged between 12 to 18% interest fees. I have created a link below. Whether you're a Canadian driver or an American driver, with the click of a button, you can make these finance companies compete for your business. It's a simple form that would literally take you 20 to 30 seconds, but you can save thousands of dollars. Once you hit submit, this form is going to go to 4 different lenders. Let them compete for your business.
We're not going to talk about the challenge. You guys obviously know the results of that. The numbers and the fuel mileage and the downtime, the cost, the expenses. But in doing that, it basically gave me a 90-day free test drive. Like, I would love for Kenworth to go, oh yeah, here's a next gen, run it for 90 days. I would love that, you know. I basically got to sample this truck for 90 days for free, and they paid me to do it. That's the best of both worlds. But what I was doing in those 90 days, aside from trying to get you guys all your data and your information and get the numbers and everything for you to make the videos, I was basically like scouting a truck. Was this the most comfortable truck? No, it wasn't. The T680 was more comfortable. I took one, I was in one, and since we did the T680 review, I've been in another one. No, the T680 is a more comfortable truck. Now, I've never had AC in my seat. That means I got a cool ass. Hey, guess who's got a cool ass? I do. But are they showing the results with fuel mileage, with downtime, with everything that's associated that I've dealt with this Freightliner? Was PACCAR or Kenworth able to meet those standards, or at least come up to what I was able to do with this, get the fuel mileage and whatnot? No, they weren't. If I'm going to drop 200 and I think from the build that I wanted, I was almost at about 220. I think it was 218 and change. So just round that up to 220. Canadian. These are Canadian funds, boys. Just remember that. So 220,000 bucks. Was I prepared to do that? Yeah, I was. But then I figured, you know what? I went to Ronan. I said, okay, we've done the 90-day challenge. I got to make a decision. I need a truck. I would like to buy the truck that I did the challenge in. And he went to ownership, the ownership group, and they came together and said, okay, we worked out a price. They were very, very good to me. They got their value for the truck. I got a proven truck. I got something I was already familiar with. I already knew the truck. I'd already been running it. I already knew the numbers. So it's not like I went into a dealership and I had to, take a gamble on another 2020, or look at my grandfather popping in to say hi here. Another 2020. I didn't have to take a gamble on getting something else that might have been a 2020 or something else that was used, or I might have been inheriting somebody else's problems. I already had the truck. I'd already run it for 90 days. I knew the numbers. I knew what it was going to do. I knew what it could do up the hills, down the hills, through the country, over them, up the hills and far away, blah, 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 blah. So that really helped. And then the price came back on the T680. I had to do some hemming and hawing, and I just decided, you know what? And that's when we did I'm not in this for the long haul, guys. Like, I've got a couple of years left doing this. So let's try to get, this is my thinking, right? Let's try to get as much bang for the buck. Let's try to get as much as we can in the bank, as fast as we can, at the most reasonable cost. A $220,000 truck, even if I put 80 grand down on it, I'm still looking at a decent payment on 4 to 5 years. I could buy this, I can put $80,000 down on it, and I'm gonna have myself a really, really affordable payment for 3 years, and I've got the option I can pay that off sooner, which I definitely will. So I've got a 3-year plan for this truck, and it's affordable. The truck can be paid for in less than 3 years, and then I'm banking even more. So those are my reasons. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this is an uncomfortable truck. For what it's built to do and for the money that you pay, it's doing a good job. It's doing what I want it to do for what I paid for. And I'm pleased with that. It's big, it's spacious, I am comfortable. It's got, I've got an APU on it, albeit it's a battery pack APU. I would have preferred a diesel, but it's got an APU on it. So I'm good for 3 years. My plan for the next 3 years, I'm already into the plan now. I've had the truck now for a couple of months. So, I've got a 3-year goal, and we are off to the races and running. Do I want to buy a Volvo? No, I didn't want to buy a Volvo. Did I want to buy a Kenworth? Yes, I did. But because of the numbers and everything that I've just mentioned, that is why I bought a Freightliner. Am I going to sit here and tell you that I am super impressed with this truck? No, it's a great truck. It's doing what it's supposed to do. That's all I'm going to say. Would I endorse you buying a Freightliner? Sure, if you want a truck that's built to work and get you down the road and be a reasonable price, sure. Albeit, from what I understand, if you're looking at the 2022s, now, when did you ever think you'd hear somebody say this? But a brand new Cascadia 2022, Canadian funds again, you're out the door, you're over 200 grand. Did you ever think you'd hear the day that somebody would say you're gonna be over $200,000 for a Cascadia? I never thought I'd hear that, man, but sure as crap. Yeah, it's 200 and change now, and then it can still go up when you throw your additions on. So the prices on these are actually getting up. Me, I got lucky. I got a 2020. I work, I'm leased on with a really good company. They did me a really good solid. They sold me the truck that I wanted to do that I did the challenge in. I got no problems. I'm very happy with this Freightliner. It's gonna get me through the next 3 years, and down the road I'm gonna go. I don't know what else you want me to tell you. The bed's not comfortable. I had to buy a new mattress. Freightliner, up your game. I got two things that we've had comments on. One, obviously, the chair. I have not changed the chair yet, but even driving right now, my lower back is killing me, and there's nothing I can do with the settings to fix this. And I'm not buying, so I am scoping out a new chair, a new seat, the complete seat. I'm actually, because of COVID, it slowed it all down, because I want to go to certain places where I can actually test them. I'm not buying one online and having it shipped to me, and so it's gonna take me a little while, but yes, I will be replacing this seat. And what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna take this seat, put it in the passenger side. I've got a brand new seat over there that nobody's ever sat on besides Darlene and Alana, and I'm probably gonna sell that, and I'm gonna put the new seat here. The other thing is the factory mattress that came with this thing. Oh, good God, it is horrible. I've got a custom mattress made. If I went to Freightliner and bought that mattress, it's like $700. That's stupid for a mattress. But I had my custom made mattress and I had it done for 265 bucks. Can't go wrong. So I will have to take care of the seat. I've already taken care of the mattress. But yeah, so there you go. As much as this pains me to say, I'm a Freightliner guy, but I don't have the belt buckle. Don't get carried away now. I do not have the belt buckle. I don't have a Freightliner hat, and I will not have a Freightliner jacket, but I am driving a Freightliner truck. Anywho, you know what? Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, punch that notification so that when we throw up a video that you get notified, and we will see you down the road.